Greetings, Dieselfunketeers. It is it's a little bit interesting. Had a pretty good long day. Did my 5 miles walking. Um, Hopefully we are broadcasting. It doesn't look like the signals are disrupted. Everything was going good. Should be on Instagram. Should be everywhere. Hello, Blurred Champ. How you doing? Wild Meg SC. I don't know if that means South Carolina, but what's up? Walter Grayson, excuse me, the endowed chair, Walter Grayson. We have to always make sure we add that title. It's like the Spider-Man. It's actually like the Amazing Spider-Man. So he shall forever be known as the endowed chair, Walter Grayson. Anyway, uh, had a good interview with a podcast, Many Faces, hip hop podcaster who just released a book not too long ago, I guess. And we had an interview that'll probably be going live, Walter and I, with him probably either Monday of this coming week or Monday of the week after. We'll figure it out. I don't know if I'm going to do it tonight, but I may actually be doing a drawing with Manny because, why not? That'll be fun. I am Tim Fielder. I'm a visual Afrofuturist and graphic novelist. Comments are open, and I always try to track my comments. I try to. It's a lot of shifting around and everything. I'm going to go tonight, probably, I would guess, about another, I'll go an hour and a half, 2 hours. I would like to get a little work done tonight. Also, I need everybody, I'm going to be repeating this. I do long form content. I do short form content. You guys have seen me do my thing you guys have seen me do my thing with the, what is it I'm trying to say, with the speed painting, where I'm doing portraits. Well, I started doing vlogs when I was at San Diego. So I have many different forms. I have short form content. I have live content, which is live drawing, instead of trying to make each thing, other than the date, each title is pretty much the same when it comes to the live drawing, because sometimes I know what I'm going to do, sometimes I don't know what I'm going to do. But I think it's important that you guys see what I'm doing, but I am hoping, like this experiment, to see if it's possible to generate, income with this. So in order for that to do it, anyone who's following me on Instagram, thank you so much. Anyone, hello, author Weston Weston, is that L Collins or Weston I Collins? How you doing? How you doing? Uh, and for those folks who are new, Tim Fielder, visual Afrofuturist and graphic novelist, known for this book here. If I don't drop it, on Infinitum, an Afrofuturist tale, published in 2020, early 2021 during COVID, by HarperCollins Amistad. It is a 280 something page visual Afrofuturist epic that damn near killed me trying to get it done, but I did get it done. Very proud of it. But as I was saying, for all the people here, Walter, Wild Meg SC, Blurred Chan, author Weston L. Collins, could you guys go over to YouTube and subscribe to Dieselfunk? I actually have two YouTube channels, Dieselfunk and Dieselfunk Dispatch. And in order to be monetized, you have to have 4,000 watch hours and you have to have 1,000 subscribers. Right now, I have about 361 last time I counted subscribers. Watch hours, I'm not worried about it. I got like almost 60,000 watch hours because I had this one video blow up for Michael Stratford's Fargo project, which was fun. And maybe I'll show it again today. But that is pretty much what I do. So I will be asking that consistently through what I'm doing here, not to get on anyone's nerves, but to try to get myself to the process of being able to monetize, because, and I'll be repeating this all the time, one of my theories goes where we are no longer in an environment where an author can expect, in particular if they have a book deal. I'm fortunate I have two book deals, right? I have one with W.W. Norton for The Comet, which I want to try to work on tonight. More breakdowns for that. And also, I may even experiment beyond just working on breakdown to show you how an image would go from a breakdown to a finished page. I also have to finish up some graphic history of hip hop. I've done the breakdowns for that. This is for volume two, which I'm promising. Walter, I know you listen to me. Yo, what's you gonna work on that? Don't worry, I'm gonna work on this. This is why I have this streaming channel to hold myself accountable on that. But the idea is to always be working on my work, the projects that I have that I literally derive my living from during my live stream. I'm not interested in, not saying I won't do it, but I'm not interested in doing commissions. I'm not saying I won't do commissions eventually right now. Eventually. But right now, the focus is to produce the work. You guys want to see my books. You want to see me do the work, right? There'll be plenty of time to sell stuff because I will eventually go into a live social selling mode. But I have to get a little equipment in here before I move in that direction. If I just shifted the camera a little bit, you can see that it's actually like a post-apocalyptic setting here. But at least for the four corners here, it looks pretty good. So let's check here 1 second. I just want to check here. All live streaming. Y'all, we're looking good there. Looking good. And I think we're looking good here as well. All right, let me just refresh that. And we're going to refresh that. Okay. And we should be good. Yes, I think we are good. All right. With that, so much love and joy is around with me doing this. I love the feedback that I get. And let's start off with, let's see, we're going to go to our desktop. Okay. Dieselfunk Studios is the company. I'm Tim Fielder. My projects are Infinitum, an Afrofuturist tale, Maddie's Rocket, and we're going to have to eventually do an update here on graphic history hip hop. If I go here, you can see in the drop down menu. Eventually, I'm going to have to update that on this this particular setup here. I also have on my site links to Dieselfunk Dispatch, I will update that so that as I put in a new link, the link updates. And that's something I also need to do myself. Um, I've been, doing this. I had this site for some time now, and I'm still very happy with the way it looks. It has a bit of pizzazz to it, and that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at Dieselfunk. If you want to follow me on LinkedIn, at Dieselfunk. If you want to follow me on Facebook, I think it's at Dieselfunk. If you want to follow me on Blue Sky, it's at Dieselfunk. The only one is not at Dieselfunk on at the moment is on Twitch, where it's Dieselfunk Studios. But I've begun the process to see if I can get that resolved. We'll see if that works. At this point, I'm about almost a month in. Maybe another 3 or 4 days, I will have been streaming pretty much for a straight month, and I think we'll be good. I think we'll be good. Anyway, let's start drawing now. So again, I use Photoshop. I use Clip Studio Paint. This is my live drawing session, which I have come to love. The you know the these these are some of the images I was using because I'm starting to see you just can't put up graphics. You have to put up something that will attract people. So there, right there, looks like I guess it looked like a drug dealer, and I can barely even handle coffee well. That's why I have this. I'm a caffeine addict here, as you can see. But that's I'm but I try to make different faces and stuff because I'm trying to keep things unique. But what we're gonna do here for right now is we're gonna reset, and what we should do is I think comment rough breakdowns. This is where we're coming back. I got a lot of good responses from last week. This is page 29 here, and I'm going to open up the settings so I can do some more work. Again, the way I have it set up here is everything is pretty much in its own layer. I like it because it's rough, but I also like it because it's true. It's true. Now you might say, well, what is the Comet? The Comet is a project adaptation that I am doing of W.E.B. Du Bois's this guy here. Where is he? Where is he? Where? Oh, here he is. So this guy, W.E.B. Du Bois, is one of the founders, co-founders of the NAACP, uh, eminent black scholar and academic, um, helped to create and codify the field of social science. I think that's, if I'm wrong about that, I'm going to ask any historians to correct me on that. And I was signed to a book deal about 2 years ago. It should have been finished last year, but obviously I had some health issues because you're not meant to sit down without moving your body for 12 hours a day. It eventually catches up with you. But W.E.B. Du Bois wrote a graphic novel called The Comet, right? And I'm doing an adaptation of that project. Now, what you see here, these are what's called breakdowns. Very, very loose breakdowns. Right? And those breakdowns will be extrapolated into finished pages. And those finished pages will have a quasi-ink painted look. And for the record, I will be utilizing as many different technological advancements as I can. I will be utilizing Unreal Engine. And Unreal Engine will allow me to not have to go crazy with drawing buildings. I already have the buildings built in 3D. It would have to be a bit of paint over work, but I will be utilizing Unreal for that. I'll be utilizing 3ds Max, but as I announced yesterday, I have to kind of get my act together with regards to connecting my PC, and as resources become more available, hopefully over the next week or two, you will begin to see me to integrate that into my streaming show and just my work process. I use PCs, Macs. The only thing I don't do is program. Never learn how to program. But now I wonder if it's even necessary. So, how am I doing the comment? What is the technique? I won't go through the real time process, but I will go here. I think this will be interesting to see. So let's go to this image here. Matter of fact, we'll do that, right? Let's zoom in here. Okay. So, there are those who say, well, Tim, why do you use AI? Why is that so necessary? I use AI because with AI, hello GCC Comics, how you doing, man? Good to see you. I've been noticing. You need to know your social media work is visible. It is showing up in my timeline, so you can relax. Just in case you think I'm not seeing it, I'm definitely seeing everything. All right, so this is how I utilize AI. I have zero interest, like zero interest in what's up, man. Anyway, uh, I have zero interest in utilizing text prompts specifically to do my work. I'm only interested in uh, uh, using my drawings as the base for any kind of work that I'm doing because it's going to have illustration at the beginning and illustration towards the middle and moving towards the end because I still want to draw comics. What I don't want to do is die from drawing comics. Okay, let me specify that again. I want to draw comics, right? But I don't want to die from drawing comics. Now you might say, well, why don't you just keep it simple and just do some straight black and white line work? Well, that is something I could do, but I do rendered comics. Sometimes there'll be heavily rendered comics, sometimes there'll be lightly rendered comics, but that's the idea. All right, so we're going to move here. So let's look at this image here. This is a main character, Jim. As you can see, that's just a standard drawing. No big deal, right? No big deal. It's sketched out in Clip Studio Paint, or I may even use Photoshop. I can't even remember, right? And so that's what I did. And then I guess that drawing there took all of, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes, maybe. I actually did another sketch, but I chose this one, kind of modeling him a little bit on a younger Morgan Freeman. And like normal, I took my sketch, created another layer, and I did an overlay, ink drawing, right? And that's what I did there, which was pretty cool. And from that point, this is when I took this image here, the upper right, that image became what is called an image prompt. And that image prompt was imported into the software. At the time, I was using a program called Doodle AI, but now you can use programs like VizCom, Midjourney. I think all of these programs. I don't really use Midjourney anymore. I've just basically been a VizCom guy when it comes to my still imagery because I like the rendering that VizCom's gives me. So that image prompt in the upper right output the image on the bottom left. Okay? So when I did it, I had to not only input that image in, that's when I wrote a text prompt. And the text prompt was, okay, something the equivalent of, hey, 30 something year old black man wearing a white dress shirt with dark suspenders. That was the prompt, backlit, right? Because I wanted the light to be behind me. This is what it gave me, right? Which is pretty solid. When I first saw this was done, God, a year and a half ago, when I was first trying to codify the way I wanted to look. But again, I'm not interested in this stuff looking like something like I don't want it to look like that. I want it to look like my drawings. So then what I did was I took this drawing, which I did in Clip Studio Paint, and I composited it with this image, and then I did a paint over. So all of the strokes you're seeing in there, the highlights on the hair, you see the line works on, because I still want this, unlike Infinitum, I don't want this to appear to be completely painted. I want a certain level of sketchiness to it, and I have to be very careful on how I over or underdo it. But I want it to look like a sepia tone drawing, at least at certain points, with highlights. And I'm a cinema guy. I come from a family of filmmakers, so that's the idea of what I wanted to do. So these guys here, these guys here, these images will end up looking like this here. Uh, I don't know what the reaction will be. I just hope that people understand that I'm doing this work because I love it, but that as a visual Afrofuturist, part of my job is to not only get the work done of telling the stories of people of color in speculative circumstances, but also to innovate, not only innovate narratively with the visual and written narrative, but also innovate with the technology and how I do books. Right, this is why I used game engine technology. This is why I use 3D modeling. And again, I promise you guys very soon I will show you how I utilize 3D on that as well. One more time, please, guys, if you guys are watching this, because I'm trying to become monetized, I need you to go subscribe to Dieselfunk at Dieselfunk and at Dieselfunk, and also at Dieselfunk Dispatch. Whichever one takes off is the one I'll rock with. Okay, enough of that. Let's get back to my process. Now, again, I ask everyone here to, if you have an interest in how I do my work and how I tell my stories, I have no issue whatsoever with sharing how the work is done. I'm going to go here. Let me switch over to Tim Fielder, see if we have any viewers or folks, because sometimes I'm still trying to sort out the comments section. Also trying to reduce the use of the word in my speaking. As I get further along, I tend to become a looser speaker. So I believe that will become more apparent as I keep going into it. Um, there we go again. Let's see, is this from? Oh, I'm sorry, that's from yesterday. I'm gonna turn that off. It's nice to see that was a link to the George Lucas episode. It's really kind of nice sometimes when I post this stuff. You wonder if anyone is watching, and then you see, wow, people are actually watching this thing, and that's great. It's really, really good feeling. It's very affirming, artistically affirming. Okay, so here we go. Let's do a warm up right quick. Because we could have all this stuff here, but we want to do a warm up. I want to minimize. Well, we'll go to Photoshop here. And before I do this, I think I'll warm up a little bit. Go to New. I think I'll take this right. No, we want to go to Tabloid. Yeah, that's good. All right, I could keep this wide, but I think I want to go here. Let's hit F. And F goes to full screen and allows me to pan up, down, right, and left. If I hit F, watch what happens here when I keep hitting F. The F key, right, goes to a black background. This is good if you're trying to see what's happening with an image and you want a black border around it, right? Here you can still pan, but it gives you kind of like an isolated image. If I hit F again, It goes back to my interface. Um, and it's something that works pretty good. All right, so we're going to go here. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to create a new image, just in case sometimes, like here I have to, there we go. So we hit the plus sign in the lower right hand corner. And what that does is that creates a new layer. So again, I can hold my space bar down and try to pan. That doesn't help. So hit F again, you see what happens? It does that. So that's pretty good. So we're going to warm up here. And I think I got to decide how I'm going to warm up. What am I going to warm up with? I want to try to warm up and do something that'll last, say, no longer than 5-10 minute warm up, and then I'll get to my breakdowns. And let's see, how would I do that? Let's see. Okay, we got a line there. That's pretty good. We got our strokes. This is good, feeling pretty good. Now, watch this. See that line? See how smooth that line is? But watch this if I move over here. See that bump right there? See that little bump? That's because I have a dead scan line in my Wacom tablet. Don't worry, one day I'm going to get it fixed. So what I do is I move this over a little bit. So as you can see now, it's moving closer and closer to the edge there. But eventually I'm going to get all that taken care of. Just hang with me, people. Hang with me. Hang with me. Let's see if we can move this over. Yeah, we'll pretty much move that over as far as we can. But it's all good. All right. Next step. I want to warm up a little bit. And one of the things I think I'm going to warm up with is, let's see here. Actually, I've been listening to this brother named Chad Saunders. Chad Saunders is this writer slash, seems like he's a movie producer, but he's been really aggressive over the last year in talking about the changing economy and system of how films are made and how you talk about films. And he was actually part of the inspiration why I really revamped and relaunched Dieselfunk Dispatch, and how I approached the Dieselfunk film stuff altogether. But what I'm going to do here is just do a very quick sketch of him because I think I already followed him on YouTube. But let's see if we can find some reference here. Let's go here. We're going to go to Instagram here. There we go. Here he is. Let's see, which image do I want to pick as reference? Let's see here. He kind of, when he looks more intense when he's got the tank top, but I need the right look. Let's say, no, that's too serious. Oh, that's interesting. I think the hair is interesting here. The hair is interesting there. But the face is interesting here. So here's what I'm going to do. Watch what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to hit Command Shift 4. And I'm going to select this guy. See, I'm drawing a bounding box around there. All right, so that's my reference for his face. But I want the hair. Well, the hair was interesting in this shot, but now here is where, with the smile here, I'm going to do Command Shift 4 again. And this one here, that's going to be, there we go. Cool. All right, and I won't worry about using the reference for the face, well, for his tank top there or anything. I'll just leave that the way it is. Also, very quick, you guys might notice some of my tabs here. This is my former instructor, Paul Karasik, 40 years ago, released. He taught me at School of Visual Arts. I was a cartooning major, crazed cartooning major. And his book, The New York Trilogy, just came out, and it is actually the books, 3 books he's done, adapting the work of Paul Auster, who actually passed away a few years ago. Done one with Lorenzo Matodi, Dave Mazzucchelli, I believe is how it's pronounced, who I think is one of the greatest cartoonists that ever lived, Dave Mazzucchelli. The visual artist of Batman Year One and Daredevil Born Again. And Paul's work just came out, so I would encourage you guys to go to Pantheon. It's released from Pantheon, but it's Penguin, which I think is a branch of Penguin Random House, and go buy that book because it just came out, and That's a pretty good thing. So I wanted to mention that while I have a moment. All right. So we got this here. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go here to Photoshop. Okay. I'm going to. Now I could try to record this in Clip Studio Paint. Let's see what happens if we go to Clip Studio Paint. Yeah, I think it's what we'll do. And the reason why we're going, this is from last night, by the way, you guys, at Black Prince that I'm working on. I'm not going to be working on Black Prince now. I've put a lot of effort into it. I'll do a little bit more tomorrow because I have a meeting with the author, Stephen Berry, tomorrow. And I'll make sure before the meeting starts that I have, say, another 3 pages done, which will pretty much fill out chapter 1. But one of the reasons why I like to do this, do portrait drawing in doggone it, keep saying is Clip Studio Paint by default records your drawing process. It's quite interesting, actually, and it's something I feel like I need to do and be more consistent with. It's very, very important. So we're going to do this here. And let's see here. Let's go. Let's click on. I'm going to move this over here. In fact, let me shut this down here. Let me turn that off. Turn that off. Okay, there we go. And we got an illustration there. And the reason why I'm doing this because I think it's helpful to be able to pull that up. All right, so we're going to go here to Bridge. We're going to go to Desktop because remember those screen captures I did of Chad? Here they are. Here. So we're going to clip here. Oh, hang on. There we go. And there. Oh, I don't like that one. I think we'll go here. Let's hang on one more time. So again, reference. Reference is super important when you're doing this out here. Go here and here. Okay, great. I like that. That's nice. That's nice. So I'm going to move this to the right. Right there. Okay. So you guys can see here. I now have my reference to the left and my palette to the right, or page, or whatever you want to call it. Now, different ways I could draw this. I could draw this with just line work, which would be good. And that line work could be pencil, it could be shading. There's a part of me that would, I could do a regular painting, but I want to move kind of fast on this. And I'm always experimenting with different drawing styles. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to take a pastel or chalk. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to see. Oh, no, I don't like that. See that? That stroke, that did not look good. We're going to leave that alone. Let's see if we go to pencil, perhaps. All right, we go here. That's watercolor. No, I don't want to paint anything. You know what? Let's try airbrush. We're going to go here. And we're going to make that a thin line. And airbrush can give you a pretty smooth look. See, that's pretty good there. I like that. Hello, Sis V Chick 73. How you doing? Good to see you there. I'm just doing my warm up here. I'm drawing a picture of Chad Saunders here. Alrighty. Let's zoom in here. Alright. So let's check it out. Let's go here. Alright. So sketch it out here. Boom. Alright, there we go. Yep. See, I'm keeping it loose. Very, very loose. Keeping things really loose. There we go. Also, one of the things I like doing when I'm doing portraiture is I like sometimes to exaggerate things. Because if I exaggerate things, what ends up happening is you end up getting a kind of a slight. I'm not trying to do. I do not consider myself a caricature artist. I don't do that. I don't do caricature work. But I do like employing elements of caricature work in my portraiture. Let's go here. Let's go here. Boom, bam, right. There we go. And you might ask, well, why am I drawing portraits of these people? Shouldn't I be drawing the comics? Yes, but there's also another more primary reason. As I'm working on the graphic history of hip hop, which will probably demand somewhere about 200 portraits from me, it just, you know, this stuff can get so tedious that you find yourself in a position where you really need to warm up and get your body ready to do all the portraiture work. This is pretty heavy duty stuff. Doing all those portrait works. All right, there we go. Okay, good. All right, we're gonna pull that out there just a little bit. Mm-hmm. Yep. His head is it has a kind of a two ovals, and he actually has somewhat pronounced cheeks, which is pretty interesting. Really thought about. It's amazing what you find out when you draw people. All right, let's go here. We have this top eyelid here. There we go. Boom. Bam. There we go. He's got his eyes. Right? So this one right here, normally what I would do with a lot of this stuff is I would paint. I would paint a lot of this stuff. But because, one, I don't want to spend a ton of time on it, but I do want to convey the energy that this young man, I mean, I'm saying young man, he's got to be damn near 40, so what am I talking about? Well, young man to me since I'm almost 60, but this is everything, I guess, where I recognize that I have the ability within me to work in different styles. And this particular style here, I will be considered a kind of a simpler style. Um, a style that I would actually use, believe it or not, if I were doing a monthly comic, right? My favorite comic book artist going right now is Eddie Barros, the guy who does the latest variant of Superman. I think that guy's like, he's like the real deal. Let's here, let's stick this on the side here. The little shade there, I'll just leave that type of stuff there for the moment. I will go back and do some shading a little bit more. Okay, so we got that. All right, whoops. Take it easy, buddy. Bring that down. There we go. And we got to put the top lid there. There we go. Top lid. Yep, I'm liking it. Liking it a lot. Bam. Now, right now, his eyelids are pretty even. Right? If you look at his eyelids, they're pretty even. But I will go back and change that because again, what I'm doing here is a portraiture, but I don't want to slavishly follow uh, his facial expression. And he's very emotive. I find. Boom. Go here. There we go. Yeah. Yep. Alrighty. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Now, see. All right. Good. And it has a broad, kind of broad nose, big nose, very Afrocentric nose. His nostril here, as you can see here, actually goes into his eye a little bit. So I could draw that. Hello, nation of Waberry. Hey, Waberry, how you doing, dear? Waberry is one of the great. Hey, what's up, girl? One of the greatest singers, songstresses out there, and she also has ovaries of gold. I remember. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna put that smile because that brother has a kind of pretty intense smirk there, and go here. All right, now we're gonna go here. Yeah, it's got the mouth happening. There we go. See, bing, bam, bam. Uh, I tend to do portraiture where it'll be like super detailed sometimes, but sometimes I don't want to do that. And I've used different techniques. I've done painted works. I've done. Oh, it's good to see and hear from you, dear. I tell you, daughter, I said, hey, uh, but the thing I'm able to do here, and now watch this. So I think his right nostril is a little bit too close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that tool here. I'm going to see how I move that over without having to redraw it, but it keeps it true to the context and make that nostril a little bit bigger. There we go. See? Yeah. Because I want this to appear somewhat cartoony. You know? So we're going to go here. Alrighty. Let's drop that. Whoa. Wrong brush. Airbrush. There you go, buddy. Alright. Take that up a little bit. I'm just going to do a little bit of shading here. And I will darken this shade up as things go on. Right? Now. So we're going to go here. Bam. Okay, great. Now he's got his mouth here. There we go. And thing I love about Chad's look is he's got the crooked teeth like I do. That's what happened when you play football at the wrong age. And you get your jaw broken and never reset it. Anyway, we all have our cosmetic challenges. I don't know. Maybe I get something done with it. Never know. All right, bam. Here. Come on around there. So you see, I'm keeping it loose. The great thing about the airbrush tool in both, that's the difference with Clip Studio. And right now we're making good time. We're at 9:15 again. I'm gonna go a little bit of time here tonight because I think it's good that I stream for an hour and a half. But the fact of the matter is, the longer I stream, the more work I get done. Right? And I'm hoping that the more that you guys actually enjoy and become a little bit more invested in what I'm doing. There we go. So we can go here. There we go. That bottom lip. Yep, he's got that. Yep, curved lip like I do. Alrighty, right there. We're gonna put that just like that. Yep, I like it. I like it a lot. All right, good. Hello, Deirdre Hallman. Hey there. What's up, girl? Deirdre is one of the co-founders of the Schaumburg Black Comic Book Festival, and also has been instrumental in keeping me alive. She doesn't know that. With my career, giving me access to resources, and well, actually, maybe she does know that. But anyway, how's Miles doing? Graduated from college now, right? Which is scary. That means, well, you are old, but I am definitely getting old. Miles is her son. Let's see. Go here. There we go. Now, alrighty. And see, again, I'm not trying to do this as a slavish photo real breakdown. I kind of like want this to be a more of a stylistic touch there. Let's see. Okay, now watch what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take his chin, which is not, it's kind of pointy chin, just a little bit. And if it's too far, I can always do what? Just move it back in, right? That's one of the great things about digital. Bam. Same thing here. So yes, he does have a jawline, right? Okay, that's good. But I think that's a little bit too far. So watch this. I'm gonna move that in, make that right bracket key. Oh, Miles. Oh, wow. That's crazy. So I remember Miles being like a tween, and now this guy has graduated from Howard last May. That is insane. But I can't say that I did the same thing happen with my guys. Uh, my daughter just got her master's degree, so I am not one to talk. All right, so there we go. I think that looks pretty good. You want to tweak that out just a little bit there, and I think I want to go here a little bit, there a little bit. Watch it there, buddy. Okay, good. Let's see here. All right, now what we're gonna do. Now, while I'm doing this, also let me make a very quick check in here on the folks on Facebook. See if anybody's commenting. Okay, they seem to be pretty good right now. This is good. I like it. Like it a lot. And go to YouTube. And also, as I said, since some other people that would go for you, Barry, as well as Deirdre, I'm trying to become monetized on YouTube. So I am begging and pleading and begging and pleading that you please stick with me on Instagram here, which is dope. Hello, Ray Jean Sawyer from Women in Comics NYC, one of the women who saved me on the Afrofuturist panel, which had gone sideways at San Diego Comic Con. And after a while, as I said in the vlog, all I had to do, I don't know. I'm trying to think, how do I make it sound like I was really working on it? I was really working on it. I had the slides. I could even show you the slides I had done. But after a while, stuff spiraled out of control. And I ended up having this long conversation in the train with this guy who worked with Todd McFarlane. And it was just got out of hand. And I was scuffling. And the train was late. It was a nightmare. But anyway, good to see you, Regine. Eventually, I got to draw Regine. I've drawn her before, but I want to do an update here. All right. This brother has a goatee. I'll do this. Again, this is going to be a simple drawing. I don't want anything that's going to be overly complex. There we go. See? There. Okay, there we go. Okay, good. Good. All right, now his ears, right there, because he has a little foreshortening sometimes that kind of rocks a little bit there. There we go. See? All right, then the other one here, we're going to do the same thing. And that one's going to be like right there. See? Bring that down. There we go. Yep. Right? All right. Now, here's where it's going to get a little interesting. So I'm going to just erase right over here. I'm just trying to keep my line work clean. And I don't want to spend any more than another 5 minutes on this. I've already gone over my time to do this. But again, like I say, like you might answer, why do portraits? You do portraits because it keeps you loose. It's like drawing from life, but also it is important that I feel as a documentarian uh, through portraiture that I document those who are doing relevant work. It's all really that graphic history of hip hop is beyond just the sequential telling of the history of hip hop. It's also recording their portraits. So I'm actually doing double work on it. I've said that before, but this is one way to just be honest with it. So it's like eventually I've drawn Barry's daughter. I don't know if I've drawn Barry. Maybe one day, pretty soon. Here. There we go. All right. I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. There we go. All right. Now, here's where it's going to get interesting here. This guy's mouth is maybe just a little smidgen too high. So watch what I do. I'm going to take the lasso tool here. Right there. Okay, let's hit Command D. There we go. So lasso tool. Right? I'm going to bring that down just a little bit. Right there, I think. Yep, right there. Now, that might not make much difference to most, but the reason why I'm doing it this way is because I need to I'm not trying to have an absolute photoreal breakdown of the way this brother looks. I'm trying to capture the spirit. Oh, wow. So, I didn't know that. So, Barry's daughter is starting a master's degree at UCLA. God, my daughter has her master's. They're not supposed to be doing that. We're supposed to be forever young with Barry. What are they doing? They're screwing up the entire thing. Deirdre's son graduated already graduated? What's going on here, guys? What are you trying to say to us? We're getting old? Anyway, go here. Alrighty. Now, let's get here in this section here. All right. I'm liking the hair. I'm going to be more expressive with the hair as we go on here. All right, so we'll go here, spam, there we go. We'll just take a little bit of shading here, and we'll do the same thing here. Kind of liking the backlit feeling here. Shade here, there we go. See? We can do this, and I'm probably just gonna do like basic overlay shadows. How's it going, Regine? What's going on, girl? What you up to these days? I mean, other than putting on massive parties at Sundance. I mean, not Sundance. It's the San Diego Comic Con, doing all that great work. Let's go here and right there. All right, there's a mustache. He has the porn stash. Let's go here. All right, here. All right, and I will come back through this to add. Um, there we go. All right, that's good. So again, I don't want to do a exact slavish breakdown of of his. I'm not trying to do a photographic reproduction. I'm trying to do a. I'm trying to capture his spirit. That's what I'm trying to do. Now I could move some stuff around for sure, but before I do that, let me just do this. All right, now we're going to go through here. Let me make this point a little bit thinner here. All right, let me go here. And I'm going to make that much more graphic here because I want him to be wearing a black tank top here. I think will be more dynamic. There we go. And I'll do here just a little bit. Bring his neck down here. He has the neck action going here. Boom. And I'll be able to smooth all of this stuff here out. And I actually also think, because why not, as I'm going to keep his earbuds in. This is an earbud dude. He loves wearing earbuds. But I'll put that in at a later point. All right, one other thing I want to do here is I'm going to take this point here. Watch what I'm going to do. See, I feel like I want to bring that out a little bit more. I want to bring this out a little bit more. See what's happening? All right, not bad. Not bad. Now, in theory, his head is too tall, which I don't mind, but let me see if I can do this. Command T. There we go. Yep, that's it. All right, let's zoom out here. So we're going to move him to the bottom because part of the motif here, everybody has a hook, right? So like Regine Sawyer with that puffy afro that she has. Again, she didn't have the same issues I have. Um, what you want to be able to do is, to point out a distinctive characteristic that folks may have. In my case, it's, I have an identical twin, and I think because of the thick eyebrows, I probably look somewhat like a pretty aggressive drug dealer, even though I'm a pretty docile. I'm not a macho man. I tried to be a macho man at one point, but I'm a horrible macho man. All right, let's go here. All right, good. So now what we want to do is want to keep things loose. There we go. There we go. See? And we can come in and tone all this stuff here in a little bit later. All right. We will shade in there. Shade in here. Okay. Shade in there. All right. I'll put highlights and stuff like that in later. All right. Now, we're going to take this. Pop that over there. Here. Right there. Dan Hutchinson, my good friend from the Steak and Potatoes group, instrumental, a the the texture goddess, seamstress, the knitter in chief. There we go. Let's see here. We're gonna bring that around. Ah, that's a great dreadlock there. Look at that. There we go. This here. And because I have the ability to exaggerate here, I can actually make his hair. This is where I really want to kind of take a little. See, I'm going to take that out there a little bit. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So again, this portraiture, what I'm looking to do is to have this piece, this work, be an exaggeration, an exaggerated reality is what I'm looking to do. Right? So go here. And this is all cartooning and caricature stuff is. And I sometimes like to keep loose in here, and I think I'm pretty loose here. I'll try again. I've gone over the 5 minutes I said I was going to spend on this, but that's okay. I'm kind of getting into it now, but I don't want to, I do want to go in and try to do at least 4 pages of breakdowns for the comic. Gina, I'm working on it. That's my editor. Don't worry, I'm working on it. Okay, so we're going to go here. There we go. All right, we got an ear here. All right, good. I think that is it. So now we have to go in and tone things. So I'm going to duplicate this image here. Duplicate. There we go. I do that because just in case I screw up my drawing and I want to go back through here. Let me, hope you guys don't mind. We'll take a quick sip of caffeine. For you guys, just in case you don't know, it is 9:31, and I intend to continue working on this image here. Kind of liking the butt here, but watch this. Watch what I'm gonna do, guys. So this will be interesting. See, I can move that in because I really love that slanted, head thingy. Head of hair. All right, enough of that. So let's go in here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our blend tool here. I'm just going to very quickly, because again, I'm not trying to overdo this, but on this particular layer here, see, I'm just go in and smooth that out. So all line work becomes shadows. See? One of the beauties of being able to work in digital paint is that you begin to realize your line work can become shadows. Right? See, I'm toning it in. See how the skin is coming in there. There we go. Geez, I wonder if I should have invited Chad to this. Can you do that? I don't even know how to do it. And let's see here. Let me go here one second. Can you do that? Oh, let's try it. At Chad Sad? Chad Sad. Yes. Doing your portrait, dude. Let's say smiley face, just in case he thinks I'm absolutely insane, which I am somewhat. All right, let's check on Facebook right quick and go to our feed, see if we have any commentary. Let's do a refresh here. Yep, I think we're going good here. This is great. Good. All right, let's go here. YouTube, this is looking good here. All right, let's Dieselfunk Dispatch, and then we have here. This is good as well. 6 views is good. Thank you so much, guys, for doing your thing. You want to comment or anything like that, let me know, and I will, of course, will reply back with any commentary. Gonna also very soon be hopefully adding LinkedIn to the new streaming stuff. And Twitter too. You know, Twitter's been interesting lately. Twitter's been really interesting lately. Anyway, but that's where we're going. All right, so let's go keep the track here. All right, now here's the thing I want to do. I want to keep everything sort of off balance. So what I'm going to do here, this is going to be a little weird. I'm going to take this dude. I'm going to grab, because what I'm trying to do is something that's not a caricature. It's like a fusion between the two. So I'm going to do this. There we go. I'm going to hit Command T. Yeah, there we go. Like that. That I like. That I like. Yeah. All right. There we go. Oh, airbrush. Sorry about that. Okay. Now we can go in. Just color, tone, the way we want. See? That's good. That's good. Go here. Now, I think I feel good about this. You know, I just want to smudge just a little bit more. Right? And now I'm going to add highlights and stuff like that. Just a little bit here. All right. Now, we got that part there sort of sorted out. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to go here to another layer. I'll explain to you what I'm going to do in just a moment. So I'm going to go here. Now what I'm going to start doing is just going with kind of larger tones. So watch this. Go here. So I just clicked here, just selected everything outside of the drawing. So all of the white here to the left, to the right, it selected that. Yeah, I think it's done that pretty much there. So now I'm going to hit Command Shift I. Now watch what happens. I'm going to go here and I'm going to get this airbrush here, and I just want to be able to do this. So you guys see what's happening? See how that's going? And I can erase some stuff, I can keep some stuff, put some stuff in there, take some stuff out, add some stuff in. Right? Watch this. Now I'm going to take this brush here and make it a little bit darker. Right? So I'm going to go here, here. This is how I'm able to get really quicker tones. Right? I don't want to overdo the tones because you know it ain't about that tonight. Go here, bam. But this is how I do portraiture sometimes. You know, sometimes I use all kinds of techniques when I'm trying to do portraiture for the graphic history of hip hop. Here, see his forehead, how he has those kind of strokes right off in there. Yep, there we go. And then we'll take this part here. There we go. Yeah, good, good. Right here. All right, now on the side of the cheek, go right there. Bam. Just a little bit. Take it easy, buddy. And then underneath his, yeah, see? Right there. Take it easy there, buddy. Bam. And go right here, underneath the nose, just a little bit. Right? There we go. Let me take it easy on that cheek there. Right there. It's good. All right. Boom. Bam. See how I'm doing it? All right. Now, this process I find, for at least for me, something I've done for a very long time. I find it very relaxing because you're effectively, and I hope it's relaxing for you guys. You know that you're able to see it and see something develop in real time. Something that I hope that at least I'm bringing people a little. You know, they can sit back and enjoy and see something come together. You know, um, that's what I'm really hoping to be able to do with the channel. I feel like I am doing it with the channel. Okay, now let's tweak in here a little bit. There we go. A little shadow here on the lip. A little shadow there on the lip. There we go. Right there on the side. Here on the side. Let's take a little bit underneath there. Here. Bam. Let's take that in there a little bit. There we go. Hiya. Now, probably what I'll end up doing here is I will Dakota. Dakota. I guess that's what that is. Hello, how you doing, man? I'm gonna go here. Go here. There we go. All right. I'm kind of liking that. I'm kind of liking what I got here. Now, here's the thing, though. Although I painted over this or kind of toned over it, basically what's happening here, just so you guys will understand, is I am actually, believe it or not, that is a normal blending channel. I don't know if you guys see it there, right here where I'm clicking on it. See, I'm clicking it on and off, right? That blending channel is in fact set to normal, but watch what happens when I set it to multiply. See what's happening? So it's transparent now. So it's one of the cool things about working digitally that I find that works quite nicely. Now, I'm going to take an eraser here. I'm going to go here and I need to do one thing, but this time I don't want to use a soft brush. I want to use a hard brush. So this is where I'm going to take out some of the gray. So watch this. See? Because I want that dreadlock to be on its own. Right? We can go here in the middle. See? There we go. We can go here in the top. Again, I am not trying to mimic reality. I'm just trying to have its kind of the illusion of its own thing there, its own force. Yeah, that's pretty good. And I think I can, yep, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, there we go. And here, you can take here, you can also click here. See? See what's happening? So that's something that is a very useful tool to have. Okay, enough of that. Now we're going to do one more thing here. I want to go here with the hair, which I have not had enough tone to, but we're going to do that right now. We're going to go pretty dark brush, right? And we know the light is coming from over here to the upper right down. So I can go in here. So my daughter, who sometimes will chime in, she tells me to let folks know where I will be. For right now, I'm back from San Diego, so for the next month or so, I'm in New York City, basically cranking on all of my different projects. So I'm not really going out. I will be heading to several New York cultural events. However, I do intend to do that. That is something I think that is important. As I'm getting older now, something more important that I need to do more of, because I've not been the most culturally active person, because raising kids and with all other kind of crazy stuff. But now that my wife and I are pretty much settled in the place where we're going to be in New York, at least, we want to start. I literally am not far from Museum Mile, so it's a good thing for me to be able to partake of what New York City has to offer, and that's part of what I'm doing. I'm blessed to be here in this way in the city, and that's what I want to do. All right, let's see here. Go here. See, that's pretty good. I like that. I like it. I like it. Go here. Tone that in a little bit. Let's go here. So as I'm adding the shadow work here, that's what it does. Okay, good. Now let's go here. Just a little bit of kind of, there we go. All right. Then we're going to go here on the bottom. There we go. Here. Boom. All righty. And then here. Okay, there we go. Let's go right here on the part here. There we go. Yep. So how you guys doing? How you guys doing? What's happening on your end? You know, as I'm talking to myself talk. What's happening in the world of you people? How's life treating you? Treating you well? I hope so. Let's see here. Let's go here. Just checking my. Let's go back to Dieselfunk. Dieselfunk. Alrighty. Alright, that looks good. I like that. Alright, now, here's where things are going to get interesting. Because I don't want to overdo the color on this. Right? What I want is the gray tone going in, and then we do an overlay on top of that. However, I will do this. I will erase a few things. So I'm going to go here to this, and I'm going to lightly erase elements like from his nose there. See? So I'm going to erase that. Okay? I'm marking that. Want to reduce this down just. Whoa, boy. Just a smidgen. There we go. Let's touch that down a little bit there. Let's go here and touch this down a little bit there. There we go. Good. All right. Now, let's go back to hard eraser. And what I'm going to do here now is erase off of this area. Right? Because I want to make sure that it really feels like that huge dreadlock is almost turning over. That's good there. And that. Okay, I like that. That is not bad. Okay, now let's go through here one more time, and now I'm going to smooth over some of the harsher lines here. And I don't mind the harsh lines. I just want to be able to keep it cartoony yet not totally paintable. There we go. Yep. Yep. There we go. All right. Cool. All righty. I like it. All righty. So now we're going to select, watch this. If I hold down Option and I double click the swatch here, what it does is it selects all of the gray. Right? And the reason why I'm doing that, because now what I want to do is I want to take, in fact, I will go here. Let's make that a little bit orange here. He's got a little bit orange happening there. Skin texture. And then here, there we go. We're going to do it again. But this one we're going to make it a little bit lighter. All right. Now, let's take our airbrush tool here. And we're going to, first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a brown base in here. It's going to be kind of weird, but work with me. Work with me. Oops. Was that right? Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, wow. Is that a new feature? It appears that, wow, look at that. I didn't know that was a thing. Oh, maybe that's what's happening. Let's go here, another layer. We're going to go here. There we go. I guess that's weird. That is really weird how that's working. So we're going to go here. That's multiply. This one here we're going to make as a normal. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this right there. Nah, I don't like that. Let's see. Well, we'll hold it. We'll hold it steady for now. Let's go here to the top part. All right. Now we're gonna try to draw a little bit with our hand. There we go. Yep, that's good. We'll go over with the gray. I mean, with the beige for sure. We'll do that. Okay, I'm liking that. I like the way it feels. All right. it's okay if there's some transparency on the side there. That's all right. I don't mind that. Hello, Mike Stratford. How you doing, sir? Your most eccentric fan says hello to you, sir. For you guys who don't know, Michael's through his Gizmo Press. Let me see if I can do a quick. Oh, what am I doing, Michael? Please post the link to your company and your book stuff if you can, sir, and I'll click on it. But please post that in the comment section so people will see what you are doing. But he just did an art book on the great Dennis Cowan of the Milestone Media fame and Black Comics God, I guess I would say he is. All right, so now we're gonna go here. Now we're gonna hit that with an overlay. See, yes, I like that. All right, now here's where we start to go in with a little bit of orange texture. I'm gonna cancel that out. Also, we want to bring in bridge. There we go. Now we're back to it. Okay. Now we want to go in and start adding other tones. Right. So I have the ability within me to paint in different styles. I can paint it, straight, cartoony. I can do it in paint. I can, do all those different things. And, sometimes I just try to switch it up to keep from getting bored with it. Other times I'm working and painting and keeping things interesting by trying to push, like use AI on stuff recently. And it's all towards the same end. It's all towards the end of being able to do the work and to create images, hopefully, that will um, bring some love and joy to folks, enjoyment. That's really what it is. There we go. See? There we go. Mm-hmm. All right, now what I was trying to do earlier was this. I was trying to go in. So I took, you'll notice here, that's still an orange, but I moved that's why. See how that color is changing there? I want to move that there because I want a brown here. I want his hair to be brown. There we go. This don't look like this brother's gray yet. Don't worry, man. It's coming. Let's just do this. There we go. Yep. Alrighty. I do love coloring. Um, I don't have as much time as I used to because now my schedule is like really full. But as I close out at least two of the books I'm working on towards the end of the year, I want to get back to working on my Dieselfunk projects, Manage Rocket, so on and so forth, and get there. And I think that'll be a good thing. Okay, now we got that. Next up will be Next up is going to be what? Let's start to add a little red blush in here. Like myself, of the brothers of the light complected persuasion, Votnoy, dope username. How you doing? Go here. There we go. See? Adding a little blush. That's good. Not as much on the top lip, but it's there. All right, now watch what I'm doing here as I'm going through the nose action. See? Okay. Yep. There we go. That's fine. And some of this stuff I'll just like really slight. Don't want to overdo it, but just a little bit. She got some cheek action going. Sorry about the sound effects. No, I'm not. I'm really not. Sorry. I'd be lying to you if I tried to suggest that I was. Okay, there we go. Now, here's where it's going to get interesting. Look at that. It worked. See the side? Wow, that worked. I mean, I'm not looking again for a photographic, a slavish painting as I can sometimes get. I know I can do that, but This is what I'm looking at. Right there. See? Bam. Okay, great. Got that. Let me turn the brown down. Turn the brown down. Right here underneath the eyes. There we go. Nose. Yep. Now, right here is where it gets interesting. Bam, bam. Just there. Okay. Pop that. Goes here. A little bit heavy on that, but I don't mind. Because again, I'm not trying to do anything that'll be a slavish reproduction of reality. Let me take a quick thingy here. Let's see what's happening on the comment section. Facebook. I don't see anything right now, which is good. All right, with that, Dieselfunk looks clear. That's good. All right. So it's now 9:55. Whatever happens, the next 5 minutes of this, I am done with this image because it is time to get to some comment breakdowns. All right. Now, here's where it's going to be interesting. We're going to go to another layer here. Now, we're going to add in, oh, you know what? Let me do this one thing. Let me move this down here. And now, if I turn this on, see how that is? Watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to take the airbrush here, and I'm going to go hard airbrush. So now what I'm doing here is I'm erasing these parts. There we go. Alright, sorry. What is that? Alrighty. Let me go back here. Take the opacity down somewhat. Okay, there we go. There we go. Right there is what we're looking for. There we go. This here. There we go. There we go. And here. Ah! Doggone it. Let's zoom in here. You'll see what I'm talking about. See that line? I don't want it. I'm actually using the tone that I had set up on a layer before, but what I'm doing is just using this. I'm going to darken it up so that that tank top he has on has a certain level of darkness to it without being pure black. I'll show you what I mean on that. Just a momente. Is my audio coming through good tonight? I don't know if there's I got blasted by someone like, yo man, your audio sucks. Which, hey man, what can I say? I'll do the best I can. Ah, there we go. Now let's try to take this to Command U, and we're now going to go down. Well, saturation is fine. Let's go down on luminosity. Take it down as far as we can. Yeah, see, I like that because what that does is it gives us the tone without making it pure black, and it carries a little weight with it, right? So now I can go in, even though that's really dark, I can add that kind of stuff and that kind of smoothness to it. It's just one way, a quick cheat to be able to get a certain type of look and feel. But you'll notice when I darken that up, there were line work in there, so now I can go in and eliminate that. Okay. All right, I think we're almost done there. Now we'll go to this layer here, and go to our airbrush. We're going to select white. So here's where we come in and we begin to add things. Now, If you look at this right here, that just looks like a straight drawing. It's nothing unique about it at all. It's just a straight drawing, right? Straight drawing, it's all good. We've seen it before a bazillion times. And that is something that can be really, really great. However, the moment we begin to add highlights is where the illusion, your brain begins to fill stuff in. So you all see that element there with the eye. Hello, Latrice Gaskins. Let me take a moment while she is here. Latrice Gaskins is the god of visual AI. This woman has been. I'm sorry, Latrice. Please don't take this the wrong way. And I'm not trying to embarrass you. But this woman has innovated and made clowns like me feel safer about doing our work. She is almost single handedly taken the visual arts field and dragged it kicking and screaming into the mainstream. In 500 years, after we are have batteries being jacked into our back of our heads. I mean, hopefully it won't be like that. But she's the one that brought us here. So I just wanted to so she will know that I'm aware of what she did. But you know, this woman is a brilliant artist and has just innovated, like really doing the work of what a true visual Afrofuturist is supposed to do. Meaning not just creating beautiful imagery, but also innovating the creation of that beautiful imagery. Just very important stuff. Anyway, so as I was saying, so you got the tune here, and good to see you, sis. Uh, so we got our image here, and now what we're going to do is we're going to add highlights. So watch how we're going to do this. We're going to go to a separate layer here. So you see that eyeball there? So that just looks like a regular line work, but the moment we add a highlight to it, see? The moment we add a highlight to it, that's when things get interesting. And some highlights can be brighter than that, right? Than other stuff. So you see that? See how that looks? Let's do the same thing to the other side. See? You go in here. Again, we're not looking for perfection. We're just looking for close enough. Right? All right. Now here, see, I can apply that to his teeth here. See? Bam, bam. Okay. Right there. There we go. Pop that in the side there, right? Now we got this part here. Boom. And then it'll go right on the bottom there. See how we can do that? And we can add stuff, tone stuff, take things in, take it away. But you see what's happening? What? Look at this. Let me undo that. See about his nose? See his nose is just that particular element there? Watch what happens when we apply that. See? All of a sudden, it makes his nose protrude towards the camera. And again, I'm not doing I keep using the word slavish. I'm not misusing the word slavish. I don't know. So there you go. Here, bam. Go here on the side. All right, now what we're going to do, we're going to go here in the cheeks. We got to be very, very not careful so much because although I am doing a kind of a portraiture of Chad here, I'm not trying to make it again be photoreal, but I'm adding photoreal phenomena, regardless of how accurate it is to the actual image that I'm using as reference. I'm adding photoreal phenomena to the illustration. I'm not trying to do photographic duplication. I'm trying to do an illustrated interpretation of the man. That is the catch. And that's where I have had to learn during numerous bad drawings over the decades of the difference between good drawings and bad drawings, and yep. All right, and what is that? Yeah, I don't know if there's such thing as bad drawings these days. I think you know right now where we are as a society, it's just all just content, and a bad drawing is someone else's style. So what does it matter at this point? All right, now let me just erase right off from here because I don't want that highlight because we're still trying to keep the feeling that that's an orb. That's an orb, right? So now, see? So I'm adding, when I'm adding that highlight there, notice underneath his chin. See, now I can do this. At least above his top lip, I mean. So I can just go in with just little highlights. See? Now you might say, okay, well now it looks like he's having when people they have the foam popping out of the mouth and stuff like. Well, don't worry, we're gonna get to that. Just hang on, hang on. All right, now here getting lip action, because everybody has saliva on their lips and they got spittle and all that kind of stuff that's popping out of their mouths. Okay, and okay, good. There we go. Now on the side here. There we go. There. Now I'm going to shift right there. Yep. Again, we are not trying to do a slavish reproduction of society. We're just of an image. We're just trying to do the fear, the feeling, the spirit, if you will. All right, now that's pretty good. Now I have not punched this up with the rendering channel right now, or the blending channel. Right now, it's just set to normal. I'm just gonna pop some more highlights in here, so you guys will see what I'm doing. See here, bam, bam, right, and then he's got that right there. See how that's popping off his head? Let me just go a little bit more. All right, take it on the side there, not too much. Now on the side here. All right, there we go. You can even pop a little bit on the side. See how that's popping? All right, take that. And then, yeah, I'm thinking I'm liking that. Now, off in here just a little bit. Here, now on the shoulder, I can add a heavy highlight there. That heavy highlight gives the illusion of light bloom. Light bloom is very, very important trick, photographic trick that you can add to what you see. Now, for those guys who might ask, well, man, how long have you been doing portraiture? For a long time. I started back doing it digitally. I guess when I was teaching high school back in the early 2000s. Because I doing mostly digital illustration. I just gotten out of working in the gaming industry, and had to raise kids, so I had to make a living somehow. Because there was no such thing as hey, let's go to Texas and work for whatever gaming companies is out there. I would have loved to have done it, but then I had to stay in the city for my kids. But yeah, it's the type of thing where I begin to see. I would draw my coworkers in 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 the faculty meetings, and eventually I began to enjoy it. I was like, wow, this is fun, and the reactions that the faculty members had was always a very, very cool thing when I began to see that, oh, this is a unique form. This is something that is viable, and that was something I did as well. Whoops. There. Okay. Now let's go here on the side. Okay. So I think we got something that works there pretty good. But watch what I'm about to do now. I'm going to take this and I'm going to move this to add glow. All right, let me undo that. Let me zoom in here. So right now it just looks like basic strokes, white strokes. But the moment I move that from normal to add glow, you see what happens? all of a sudden there's a deeper shine and sheen to those highlights. Those highlights begin to take on a much more, almost a bokeh effect. Now, this is where you then take, let me duplicate this layer here, because just in case I screw up, I don't want to be able to have something to go back to. Okay, so we go here. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to take the blend tool. I could take the blur, but I think I'm going to take the blend here. And what I want to do is smooth out some of these lines here to make it less harsh. And this is before I hit it with an eraser. Right? And go here. Just go here. So just hitting it with the blend tool here. All right, that's good. So you have to tone it down a little bit because we don't want that to be too bright. All right, right there is kind of sort of good. Nose there. I'll leave that a little highlight right there, and now we'll tone down that cheek action there. The cheek action, man. Cheek action. All right, go here. Now I'm gonna go here. See, I'm reducing that down. All tricks, tricks, tricks. Lots and lots of tricks. There we go. There we go. Now, for the eyes, watch what happens when I reduce down the glow on the orb. See what's happening? Ah, there we go. Now the teeth will just tone down and erase a little bit of this to give a little foreshortening to the teeth, but I'll leave certain parts of it open. There we go. All right. All right, now the eyelids makes it look a little bit bigger. There we go. All right. So I'm liking that. Liking that a lot. Now let's smooth this out a little bit here. There, whoops. There we go. Now notice when I moved that to the blending channel here that it made the highlights on the tank top he's wearing seem a little bit more subtle, and that was intentional as well. Also, I would, I'm not going to sit here and say that sometimes, when you're dealing with blending channels, you're like, well, what's blending channels then? So watch this. So that's add glow, right? This is an overlay. Let me turn that overlay on and off. See that overlay? In fact, it might even work to say, let me leave that overlay on, right? See how it's giving me some subtle highlights there? But then I'll duplicate that layer. You see how it's a little bit even more subtle? All right, now let me duplicate it again. And this time, I'm going to go back to add glow, right? But now I'm going to take my eraser, and I think it's set to soft. Now I can just kind of really, really be like liberal in terms of where set to soft. There we go. So now I can take out those hard line tones there. See? I don't want it to look like he's been boiled in a vat of cooking oil. There we go. See? So I'm smoothing it out, but there are certain things I want to keep, like the highlights. Yeah, like that. Nice. But it allows me to keep the highlights on the back of his head. So we're going to go here. I'm going to go here. Yep, I'm liking it. Okay, good. Okay, so I like that. I might go in and add a little bit more, a little bit less, but we'll see. For right now, I think we're good. And his hair, I'm actually going to leave his hair the way it is. Now, right now, that's good, but I think his mustache needs a little bit more work, so I'm going to go here to that. Boy, I've really gone on longer than I thought I would tonight. That's okay. It's all right, man. It's all right. There we go. See? Go here. Now I'm going to do one thing that is a cartooning cheat. Uh, and I'll show you guys. I mean, for any filmmakers or visual artists, I already know this trick, but it is something when you want to convey emotion, emotion with character work, regardless of how realistic or unrealistic it may be. Let me just go here. See, I'm taking this line work here. So what it's doing there, it's returning the hard line elements to the drawing, right? But it's doing it in such a way without losing. It's returning the visual context, if you will, what's happening. There we go. See? Okay. And that's mostly done in the eye work, right? Watch this. I want him to be more, how would I say, more, it's not sinister. I want him to be um, more quirky, more, I want his emotion to feel more um, mischievous. So watch how I do this. So I'm going to select all of these layers here, right? Now I'm not saying this is going to work, but we're going to see. We want more of this happening, right? So watch this. I'm actually going to take this tool here and, well, hold on. Before I do that, sorry. We want to go here. We're going to take a folder. Now we're going to drag and drop these guys in there. Great. Oh no, that was not great. That was really bad. And that was bad because underneath that layer was a white background, which once you get rid of the white background, it loses its luminosity. So I'm going to do, let's see, hang on 1 second, guys. Hang on 1 second. 1 second. There we go. Great. Got it. So now we're going to do a fill white. And let's see what happens. Okay, great. Oh, no. Command Shift I. Apologies about that. There we go. Now we should be white now. I think. If not, we're about to find out. So we're going to go here. Select everything here. And now we're going to drag and drop. And if it doesn't work, yes. Okay, so that didn't work. It's all right. Now let's try now. Select, invert. And now we're going to, see? Okay, there we go. Let's do that again. See what happened there? That did kind of show up pretty good. Let me do it here. Pop it. What I'm doing is I'm popping white. In fact, I'll go to undo fill. And we're going to fill. Where's the icon? Did that come in here? Let's say advanced fill. Drawing color right now is white. There we go. All right, good. I'm happy with that. Okay. So now that I have that together, do one more thing here. Go here. And I'm just going to take a white point. It's a very important thing to be able to do here. We're going to go with G pen, because G pen and see what happens? Little dots make all the difference in the world. Yep. Just a little thin line here. Not too much. Just giving the bridge of the lip. Okay. I could add, nah, I don't think I'm going to add that on there. That's good. All right. Now, so we got that. So the next thing I'm going to do is, I think I've got this look here, and I could do one more layer. Let me just take this. I'm going to just go with a soft airbrush here. And I want to just go in and start to add like this kind of stuff there. These are things to show how light is hitting off of cast dreadlock here. See? And we're not looking for perfection again. We're just looking for completion. We want to get the gist of what we're doing. Again, this is not the most photoreal portrait work. I'm not going all in on it, but I am adding little photographic effects that can kind of sell the idea and keep it loose and fun and light. Hopefully, light is good. It's one of the things we like. Light is good. Go here. There we go. Pop that right there. Go on the top. All right. Go here. Yeah. All right. Good. So we're good there, right? And just a little bit on the side here. There we go. Now I'm going to take the blur tool here. Blur is interesting. It's not blend. It gives you a different effect, but for hair texture, sometimes it's great. Or when you're trying to differentiate a blur texture from a blend texture, a surface texture, it's a quick way to be able to easily do that. All right, so we're good there. And in fact, watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to reduce the opacity down there just a bit. Okay, good. Now, so I got this. The only thing that's a little bit different here is his eyes are bigger and darker. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to duplicate this layer here in the hands. Watch what I'm going to do here. It's almost kind of unfair that one can do this, but you can do it. So I think his eyes are far enough away, so that's good. I want to play with his mouth, right? So I've now grabbed this tool here. This is the warp tool. So when you are working, see what's happening? I'm able to shift that. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? Whoops. There we go. We're going to duplicate that again. So now I can do subtle effects. Let me take that up a little bit. See? Right? So he's got his mouth where he's doing this. And I think I'm trying to decide if I want this eyebrow here. Yeah, there we go. See how that is? See how that is? See what happens with that slight rise of the eyebrow? It just really takes things out there. Now his pupils are much larger. Now I could go in and I could draw his pupils darker, or I could just do this. See what happens? See what happens there? I'm now simply stretching the pixels in the drawing. Yeah, I kind of like that a little bit more. Again, it's cartoony drawing. Now, here's where it might get a little ethereal. There are different ways to do this. Like, for example, I could take this, and I shouldn't feel too bad about doing the drawing, a portrait. Why not? Yeah, I know I was going to do some breakdowns, but I didn't do it, all right? Show me! All right, let's go here to that. Let's go here, go dark there. All right, now I could also add a little highlight here. There we go. Yep. Let's take that down. Yep. Let's see. Let's take this down a little bit like this, but in fact, I'll go to the glow dodge. Nope, that doesn't work. Um, there's something about this I like. So that's one way here to do it. Right there, that could work, but I think it's almost better if he was backlit. So let me see if I can pull this off here. So that actually kind of, I don't know, let's see. Let's see if we erase here. Okay, and that's good. And now, but what I want to do is add kind of a light. I don't know if that's possible. Let's see what happens if we go to airbrush. Man, so much for talking about I was going to do this in just a few minutes, right? That went straight to hell. There we go. Yes. Yes. Right there. Um, but the question is, if I do that, do I need this? Yes, I do need that. But I need to be able, this is, oh, that's good. That one there, which is set to normal. I wonder what would happen if I went to add glow. Oh, wow, look at that. Take that down a little bit. Yeah. All right, I kind of like that. That's interesting. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back here to this layer. I'm going to add in some side highlights. You'll see what I'm going to do here in just a moment. Again, I'm now beginning to take liberties with the drawing. So now I'm going to just have, since we know we have light coming from the top, now I can do this. There we go. All right. So, so you see how that looks now? So that's not terrible, but let me just take this right here to the side. There we go. There we go. We'll go here. There we go. Side here. Not too much. Take it easy, buddy. There we go. I'm going to erase the light on his bottom cheek there. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. All right. In fact, I like that feel. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All righty. All righty. Okay. Side here. Sorry about the sound effects, but I tend to make them when I draw sometimes. All right. Now, here is where we just go in a little bit and we just hit it with a little bit of, not the blur tool, but the blend tool. Just to smooth that out just a little bit. And to kind of blow out a few of the brush strokes, which you don't want to totally get rid of the brush strokes, because again, I'm not trying to do something that's photographic here. What I'm trying to do is do something that is still reads as an illustration. It'd be different. It'd be different. I wouldn't have done as much pencil work. It would have been more tones. Mikey makes comics. Hello, how you doing, sir? Let's go here. All right, good. Now set that to add glow. There we go. And we will erase a little bit of that. Uh, all this stuff here to the right, I like. What I don't like is the stuff here to the on the screen left. That I don't like. So let me see what happens if, so, whoops, that's where that's supposed to be. I think what I want to do is smooth this out, but I'm going to take a blend tool here. There we go. All right. Take the blend tool there. Whoops, that's good. Now we need to go here. And if possible, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the entire folder here. I'm going to see if I can erase. Nope, can't do that. Got to do it here. See if I can erase everything in that section here. Now let's see what happens. And there we go. Watch this. Nope, that is not working. All right, let's turn all these guys off on top here. All right, I think I see. Yes, that's there. That's here. There we go. And then here you have the thingy there. So I'm going to take this one, and that one, and we're going to see what happens if we can erase off in there a little bit. Right, now I'm going to erase off in here a little bit. And then I'm going to erase here. There we go. A little bit better. It's better. A bit better. There we go. All right. One more time. Just to make sure that we're good. There we go. Now let's just turn these back on. All right. So I'm good there. Now let me just do one thing here. So we got that. So I actually did something to this. I think when I switched it, I may have changed one of the lids because now he's back to looking like he's been boiled in a vat of grease. So I think I gotta tone some stuff down here. Let's see. Let's go here. The hair is fine. I like the hair. That's good. That's okay. Maybe it's this. All right, all right. I think I see what's happening here. So we got this. All right, so that's the dark tone. There's this one, which is not supposed to be so bright. There we go. We're good there. And we're good there. Now here, let's see. Doggone it. Oh, that's good. Okay, we're good there. Here's where it gets ridiculously bright, but I'm going to tone that down quite a bit. Yep, right there. Okay, so I just bumped it up a little bit more, so that's good. All right, now, last thing I think I want to do, and then we will call this image here. It's 10:32. I'm going to go to 11 because I want to try to see how I can do some quick, fast breakdowns. I know a lot of people still up. You guys probably going to want to go to sleep because you got work tomorrow, whatever, or who knows? You might be working now. Let me just take a 5 seconds to check the comments here. And I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I hope you guys find this at least minimally relaxing. Minimally relaxing. You know, like, hey, he's drawing. That's okay. Your audio seems a bit low 14 minutes ago. So let's. Oh, why is my audio? Because right now it almost sounds like I have an echo. So let's go here. How about now? Is that better? I just gotta be like high as heck. Whatever. You know, it almost seems like I'm talking in a reverb room. Okay, let me know if this fixes it at all. That's my buddy Mark coming through in the clutch, telling me something that I should already know, but don't know because I'm not a technician like that, man. So we'll go here. Okay, good. Right here. Okay. Let's go back here. Eventually, I will, as I was saying before, I will be streaming on LinkedIn, and one day I hope to be streaming on Twitch. I mean, not Twitch. TikTok. TikTok seems like the most obvious one. You know, what are you gonna do? T. Thomas, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see here. All right, there we go. I can live with that because again, I didn't want anything that looked like much of the portraiture I've done. I wanted something that still retained its line work and looked a little bit more cartoony. Not cartoony, but more comic-like. I mean, it's not anime, so it's not like that. That's one of the things I want to do. Okay, let's see. We're gonna go in with a little bit of red here. All right, and I gotta sign the signature. Oh, that looks like an 8. Wanted that to be a 5. There we go. Command T, make that signature smaller because we don't want the signature to dominate the image. Right there. That, kind of like it over there to the left. There we go. Alrighty. Let's say that's good. All right. Good. I'm glad you're doing well. Glad you're doing well. How's life treating you? What you working on there? Um, Thank you guys so much for hanging with me tonight. Thank you. All right. We're good there. All right, good. Now, doggone, I can't believe I left that one thing out, but don't worry. Do it now. Watch this. I'm going to take this. I'm going to do this is a quick cartoon trick. Go here, G Pen selected. I did not put in his earphones. Watch what I do here. I'm going to do this, and this is good because it covers up some of the imperfections in drawing, which I don't mind it not being perfect. We're going to go right. Nope. Right there. Yep. I'm going to put this here. Right. And I'm going to go right here. I'm going to make that, whoops. That was pretty. I'm going to make that line here thicker. There we go. There we go. Okay, cool. Coolio. Right? Now, I'm going to double click on this layer, and what happens is you'll notice there are marching ants. Wow. I didn't know you were in China. Did you ever tell me you were in China? You know, I might remember that. Because I'm going to see now. So, you know. Oh, good. That's based on your experience in China? Really? Well, you got to post that online, unless you intend to publish it. Publish it. If you publish it, then don't post it online. However, that is hypocritical. Nope, my audio is still low. Really? Hello. Hello. All right, guys. I'm gonna ask everyone here. You know, is my audio low? If my audio is low, then I will turn it up. But I don't know what else to do about that. That's so weird. Audio is fine. So, Mark, dude, turn your audio up, man. See, that's what I'm talking about. You get all these people. I've been trying really, really hard to do the right thing. See, he's like, my audio's low. I think your audio's low, brother. Turn your speakers up, man. Anyway, it's all good. Love, dude. Love, dude. All right. Anyway, or unless knowing this guy, he might be telling me that to make me turn my audio up, knowing that it's gonna go crazy. Is that what it is, man? Probably. Anyway, Let's see here. Let's go back here to Clip Studio Pan. So I'm getting distracted there. Oops, nope. We want this layer here. There we go. All right. Now watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to take the airbrush and I'm going to, because he generally has white headphones, I'm going to turn those white headphones to, oops, there we go. See? You do pop that on the head there. So I can now go through this, just add highlights. There we go. See? Like that. That works. Gives you the illusion of a three-dimensionality. It's a cheat. I do it all the time in my painting work, which of course could be somewhat of a limitation, but hey, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? Your audio is not perfect, man. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. I'm trying to put on a show here, man. Anyway. Well, my friend in China, Thomas is hey, the audio is fine for him. He's listening all the way in China. I think you got a problem, brother. Anyway, let's see here. This is now I'm getting harassed on Facebook by all these techno heads, all these dudes, man, who they've been in the computer graphics industry for years. It's like my friend Eliana, love her, but man, that's so. Oh, they see bad animation, they start wanting to try to take it apart. It's like, yeah, but I don't see y'all losing your mind over Rick and Morty or any stuff like that. That's the problem. That's the problem right there. Anyway, love them both, though. Love them both. Okay. And D. Alrighty. We're going to call that image there done. Even though this guy's eyes are so much. What is it about? No, it looks okay. Alright, let's leave it. Doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be done. Alright, save. We're going to do a save as Chad Sand. Hello. Hello. All right, now watch this. The beautiful thing about Clip Studio Paint is you can go here and go to timeline, and it's by default set to record time lapse. You can export time lapse. Isn't that great? Fantastic for social media production. And think about it. Think about it. You want to draw. You want to be able to draw. You need to be able to produce a minute long piece. So this is 60 seconds, right? And it literally is playing back. And that's what work I've done here. I've been going for maybe 2 hours or so. I don't even know how long I've been going. But it's the type of thing that it's a form of entertainment that if you record your drawings, you can just put that up in social media. So in this particular case here, this will probably end up being one of the speed painting Dieselfunk Dispatch episodes where, I'll do, Chad Saunders, and do that and record it and pop it up. There we go. Great. See, that's fun. So we go, okay. Alrighty. Alright, we need to export in the time lapse. And we go Chad Sand Anim. Save. There we go. So I will send this to this brother soon if I can. I don't know. Oh, right. All Things Marion. Hello, All Things Marion. Shay 890. How you doing, Shay 890? Thank you so much. Let's see here. When I was rubbing my nose, I'm starting to see it rubbing my nose because I'm getting a little pimple on the tip of my nose there. Let's see. Yes, I think I remember you. I don't want to say Titus Thomas. Maybe not. Free like these seagulls. Free like the seagulls. That is a interesting yet super duper dope user handle. Okay. Pleasure to meet you guys. Okay. So let's see what happens. Let's see if this works. I'm gonna do something kind of crazy here. Just stick with me. I'm gonna see if this will work. Let's see. Can we hit a new tab here? There we go. All right. We're gonna see if this works, guys. Let's see. I'm gonna go here. I don't know if this will throw me off of Instagram or something, but here we're gonna go here. Let's see what happens. So here's Instagram, right? So I am now going to. I'm wondering if I post, will that knock my stream off? I don't want to screw up here, but oh, this. Yeah, well, let's see. And I like doing this type of stuff here because it can be fun. Hey, Jay Gunzo, I know you. I see you're active now. Go here. Chad Sand. Chad. There he is. Chad Saunders. And I'm going to hit chat. This is I approached him before. And now we're going to pop in. Let's see if we can get that in there. All right, now we're going to go. Let's see, this will be fun because, natural diversion. It's like, Tim, you haven't done any work on the comment tonight. It's common. Wait. Chad Sand. All right, here we go. And we're going to send him the MP4. Let's see if it goes through. Will it? No, it will not. Man. Don't worry. We'll just do it later. No worries. Go back to primary again. All right, good. Dieselfunk Studios. Back to that. There we go. All right, we tried. But it was fun while it lasted. All right, now let's go back to F. All right, comment rough breakdowns. Now I think, and make sure I leave this guy up here. Now, it is 10:46. I'm going to see if I can do 4 pages of breakdowns in 15 minutes. Yes, now I can already feel my friend saying, man, you always, man, saying what you can do in a certain amount of time. You never do it, right? I get all that, but I'm going to try anyway. Okay, so here we go. So we are going to go back to, okay, we're going to go here. And we're going to go to Les Comments Breakdown. So we need to go all the way to page 29. Okay. All right. So if I go here, I'm going to go back to this. I want to stretch this where this takes up half of the page. All right. Now we're going to go here. There we go. Move that in. Yes. Yes, we can, baby. Yes, we can. All right, 29. Page 29. Old Broadway. Dead bodies. Cars everywhere. The messenger turned his eyes hastily away and sought the curb, which is what's happening there. The woman leaned warily against the signpost. There's the signpost, right? Let's zoom in on that so you guys can see that better. Right, so this is the last one, right? Her head bowed motionless on her lace and silken bosom, right? And then before her stood a streetcar, solid and within, but the messenger glanced and hurried on, right? So he's, and I added the notion of shooting the shot from the interior. So I took that 1 second sequence there and made it last an entire page. Okay, great. Now what I want to do is we're going to create a new page, but instead of creating 4 separate pages, we want to do everything at once. Let's see if this works, ladies and gentlemen. All right, now I'm going to take this, go very quickly, black, yep, like that. Alright, watch. In fact, I could, well, because I feel like doing it like this. Watch this. One panel there, here. Okay, got it. Now, I want to duplicate this. So I drag that and drop that down to the plus sign. And take our move tool. Whoops. And D. Oh, that's because I have auto select on. That's what I have. And auto select is a very useful tool, but sometimes it'll get on your nerves. There we go. So we got those two, right? And then we're going to take these two here. Command E collapses layers that are selected down into one another. So now that is actually two there. And now we're going to do that, and we're going to move this down here. So when I turn these layers off, you now have 4 pages. So we're going to try to do 4 pages. And maybe moving forward, what I'll do is I'll do 4 pages per night. But again, he's like, yo, man, you got 10 minutes. I hear you, man. I can hear you judging me. I can hear you judging me. But it's all good. It's all good. Just refresh this. Okay. All right. Let's get to this. So 30 through 34 is where we're going, and that's everything there. A grim newsboy sat in the gutter with the last edition in his uplifted hand. Danger, screamed its black headlines. Warnings wired around the world, right? So watch what I'm going to do here. Most of the pages that I've done thus far have been, when I turn those on, see, that's a big shot. That's 2 panels. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels. This here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 panels. And here is 1, 2, 3, but in the middle, it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels. Okay, we got that. But because this is such a heavy shot where you're showing a dead child, right? So I want a newsboy here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. A grim newsboy set in the gutter, right? And this is what I'm going to do. Oh, wow, this is going to be so sad. So sad. And I want one of those kind of Jack Kirby-esque newsboys where he's wearing the kind of hat. Right? There we go. So that's one way to do it. Where he's sitting there. Okay, that's good. And sit in the gutter, that's interesting. I like that. But I wonder what would happen. Let's see. So that's one way to do it, right? And I actually did that on a separate layer here. So I'm going to now take this, select that, and I'm going to do Command Shift J. So I turned that into a separate layer there. So now I'm going to take these two guys here. Command E. There we go. So now those 4 panels there. So again, I want to try to get this right here straight. So that's interesting, but I don't know if that works. We want that kid, Grimno, set in the gutter with the last in his uplifted hand. How would I do that though? And he's sitting in the gutter. He's sitting in the gutter of a street corner. That's what it is. show that. Ah, this is interesting. Let's do this. Because I don't know how good it is to actually show this young child actually being dead. Even though some of my friends are like, show him dead. Anyway, so let me go here. So I'm going to put the hat on there. Silhouette. I don't know if that works. Kind of praise, kind of Frank Miller-esque. So side of the street here. I don't know if that works. Don't know if it works. I really don't like that. I don't like that. I think it loses something by doing that. Here's what we're going to do. Instead of trying to get all fancy smancy with it, here's the boy wearing the short knickerbocker thingies. He's dead on the ground, like so, with his bag. There we go. That's it. Look at this, guys. So we go in here. Yep, there it is. You see the hand outstretched, right here. And then we're going to put his hat right there. Yeah. And newspapers are strewn about on the ground, like so. Right? Yep, that's what we're going to do. And what we'll do is we will turn this kid like that. He's there. And here, what we're going to do is we're going to move him downward right there. Yeah. Like this. And we're going to have a panel at the top, then a panel at the bottom. Right? Here is going to be the street corner. The kid is actually in the gutter, literally. He's dead. Right? So he's there. Now there's only one other thing I could do. Yes. Why did I not think of that? Watch this. Let me take this. I'm going to erase this for a moment. Yep. But I like that. I like that shot. That shot has power to it. But instead of it being a straight up and down shot, what I'm going to do is hit Command T, and I'll just tilt it slightly, like so. This is going to be so weird. And if I can adjust it, I will. But what's going to happen is this. You have the main character sitting here looking kind of like this, and his arms kind of like, oh my God, what in the world? The overhead view. All right, there we go. All right, now here's the thing about this particular shot. I like the positioning of the guy here. But what I'm going to do now is do this. There we go. See that? There we go. So now this is the sidewalk here. It's the corner, and I'm going to put a little grid here for the side of the street. So the kid is literally laying down in the gutter. There are newspapers here everywhere, right? And here's our main character standing over this kid. He's terrified, obviously. Alrighty. This here, that there. Alright, so what you're looking at here is an overhead shot. I'll put a foot here, shoe. Can't have any shortage of dead people in this thing. There we go. Alrighty. That's a pretty intense shot there. So we can do that. That I can live with. I can live with that as a full-on overhead shot. But what we're going to do here is we're going to put the newspapers kind of scattered, and you'll be able to see a duplication. See what's happening? So for this shot, check it out. So what's happening here in this shot? And I know we're in the 11 o'clock hour here. What's happening is this. Let me make that thicker so you guys can see it. 1, 2. Everything is doing this. Hello, Dean Hespiel. Good to see you, sir. Dean is one of the pioneers of web comics. Kind of did it before it was fun and sexy. Sometimes, brother, it's gotta hurt to be first. Let me tell you. But without him, we would not have the robust webtoons, robust web comics industry. And I think a lot of people don't acknowledge that the work he did in the early 2000s. It's just incredible work. I forget his partner who worked with him. I don't know if there was a partner, but I know it was another dude who worked with that did great work. And these cats just really kicked ass. You know, oh, have I used profanity before? That may have been the first time. See what you brought out of me, Dean? Not good, man. Not good. Anyway, so all right. So that's I wanted a full page there, kind of like a reveal. You see, oh my God, this thing is it's not just taking um, uh, it's young and old, and you see the kind of prototypical newspaper boy. We're gonna show that dead newspaper boy in the gutter, right? But it's an overhead, so it gives you a dynamic shot, right? So now we can go to the next page, right? So that's 31, 30, right? Danger, screen, it's black headlines, warnings, warning around the world, blah, blah, blah. Seek the seller, the messenger read, staggered on, right? So that will be narration taken from this because that's fantastic narration. Now we're going to go on page 31, street corner, midday. Far out from a window, a girl lay with gasping face and sleevelets on her arms. On a store step sat a little sweet-faced girl, looking upward towards the skies, and in the carriage by her lay, and in the carriage by her lay, but the messenger looked no longer, meaning there's a dead woman and child. So there's different ways we can do that. Far out from a window above, a girl lay with gasping face and sleevelets on her arms. On her store step sat a little. Okay, so this is two things. So what he's seeing are dead people around. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. So now we have the opportunity to show dead people. We've been showing dead people from the beginning, but let's try this. This is what I want to do. This is going to be so. Oh, I've got it. Check it out. Watch one and two. See, this is sometimes when I'm doing breakdowns and visuals. And yes, I've gone 4 minutes over my deadline. Sue me, man. Anyway, watch this. Have this be a low angle. And we're going to have my man here kind of walking, kind of grin, walking, still walking, but there we go. Yep. He got his tie here because at this point he's wearing a tie. All right, good. And at the, like so. He's still walking. Yeah, there we go. Yep, yep. All right, good. Like so. All right, so he's there. Now what I can do. Now there are different ways to do this particular shot. One way to do the shot is to literally have a facade of a building, right? But a close facade. So we got it here, where there will be. Let me do this on a separate layer. Let me do it on a separate layer, man. I'm gonna go here. Like that. Yeah, that's interesting. Let's do another one. Yeah. Yep. Again, breakdowns don't have to be tight. They just need to be impressive enough. Whatever the hell that means. And go here. All right, now we're gonna put the base here of the windowsill. I'll put another one there. Okay. Well, all right. All right, so I'm kind of liking this shot here in the background. So if he's in the background, it says, from out the window above, a girl, right, lay gasping. So we're going to do this. And she's dead. A girl. I'm going to say girl gasping. I don't have to get into tight stuff, but we know in that window shot there she is, right? In fact, what I need to do, let me erase this. It's going to be a little weird here, so work with me. I'm going to take this, I'm going to move this right here, and we're going to shift that above to there. All right. We're going to call this girl gasping. Yep. All right, done. All right, so we got girl gasping, sleevelets on her arms. On the store step sat a little girl. I don't know, whatever. I'm looking upward towards the sky as a carriage. By her lay, but the messenger looked no longer. Let's see how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna put somebody else dead in here as well. Right? Now, let's see how we're gonna do this. Ah, yes. crib here. I don't know if this is gonna work, but these are just little things I'm kind of right. So what I want here is in fact a building facade, and my man is walking here, and he's trying not to look too hard because obviously there are all these dead bodies everywhere. I mean, W.E. Du Bois was pretty revolutionary to be doing something so morbid. I was talking with, I was on a panel discussion with Arthur McFarlane III, W.E. Du Bois's grandson, and Calvin Reed from Publishers Weekly. And we were talking about how W.E. Du Bois effectively helped to create, um, probably helped to create post-apocalyptic storytelling. It's very possible he did that. Very possible. All right, so watch this. I like this, but this is what I want to do. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take, I'm going to turn, I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to go here. I think I may have figured out a way this can work even better. I'm going to do this. I'm going to move that. There we go. So again, like the sequence with the um, with the um, with the bus, but I'm gonna reverse it this time. This time, put the windows there. See dead people there. As a matter of fact, I'll have a curtain, that type of thing floating out there. That's a little girl. All right. We'll take another board here. There we go. We can put the shadow or solution, or not solution, suggestion of something else. Right? Now let me double click that again there. There we go. That's good. Right about there is pretty good. I think that's pretty good. All right, now take that up. I find doing the streaming work to be very helpful when it comes to this. It just is. All right, there we go. Now just this. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, again, pop these type of things together. Now I'm gonna put the carriage here. And I'm gonna put the mother here, who's collapsed into the baby carriage. Yeah, she is. Kind of bent over, slumped over. It's the baby carriage. Yeah, that's creepy. But I'm now going to move my dude. You know what? I love this drawing here. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to find a place to use it later on. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to Command Shift J again. Okay, there we go. What I'm going to do here is this. I'm going to put this all on the sidewalk. So all these panels here. See? There we go. Now, what I can do, there we go. So he's walking. Black and white. And say baby carriage. Okay. And my man is walking. Alright? So, that's one way to do it. However, let me take this, get the composition right, because I think I'm missing a dramatic opportunity here. Watch this, guys. take this, reduce that down small, put him here, lower in the window, walking, right? And then get rid of that. Man D. I don't know which one that is coming off of there. Here, here. Okay. So we're going to merge these two. Man E. There we go. And I'm going to take the mother in the baby carriage. Man T. I'm going to move him down there. So he's walking in front of the building. There we go. I kind of think I've screwed up the baby carriage here. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. We'll see. The mother is definitely there dead. Right? Yeah, I kind of like that. So it's a full page just like this, but it'll be the panels will show. Let's see. Hey, Skia, how you doing? And MP Mala, 3P Mala, join. Hello, hello. All right. Anyway, so that's 2 pages broken down. Now, so that's 30, 31. I will go to 32. And I'll just write it just for the 33. Okay, 30, 31, 32, 33. Okay, 32. The cords gave way, the terror burst in his veins, and with one great grasp, he sprang deftly forward and ran. Now this was the shot that I've been wanting to do for the longest. And this is the shot that's very much Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So I'm going to have him covering his face here. Yep. Like so, because the grief is just unbearable at this point. All right. And then, yep, I think that'll work. Watch this. There we go. And I want to make him smaller here. There we go. Yep. And to sell the idea, we're going to make these things here almost like, yeah, this will be a good traumatic kind of, because now at this point, midday, but it's a great kind of shot to show this type of stuff going on. Right? And there he is running in the middle of the street. Yeah, I like that. But let's move this down even a little bit farther. Let's make him smaller. We want him to feel dwarfed in the buildings here. There we go. All right, that kind of works. Now, here's the thing I could do. I could either make this a side shot because there's a part of me that kind of wants to do this. Hang on 1 second. I think I'm picking something up. Yeah. Let's go right here. The lasso tool here. Oops. Lasso. There we go. Yes. I think I may have figured something out here. Just gotta make it. Yeah. Maybe. Just maybe. Alright guys, watch what I'm gonna do here. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this here. I'm gonna move this out a little bit farther. I'm going to take this one here. Now, keep in mind, as I'm doing the breakdowns, I'm also composing shots. That's what I'm doing. Right? Okay. So this has turned into what was going to be a really wide shot, but then now will end up being, yeah. See? Yep. That works. So he's running, right? So now what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to take this gentleman here. I'll move him to the top. There. Yep. There we go. Watch. Watch what happens. Take that there. All right, now we'll go to a close-up here. Here he's kind of howling, screaming. All right, there we go. See? You know, it was so weird. You might ask, well, wow, okay, I'm doing this, laying these shots out. But, you know, when I was younger, I was in the comic book industry. Uh, you know, I felt very confident about my storytelling abilities. And then suddenly the comic book industry collapsed. Of course it collapsed, right? This is back when Marvel declared bankruptcy, and we had people jumping off buildings, people dying of, you know, illnesses and stuff because of just what it was. It was happening to so many people, and I just remember suddenly finding myself going to the 3D animation industry. You know, well, I felt like I was pretty good in the comics industry, and all of a sudden I wasn't. There was nothing great about what I was doing, and you know, because I wasn't that good with the software. So it's just an interesting. Uh, there we go. See what's happening? So he's. So we're gonna now move him here on this. There we go. I think we'll move him back over that way. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that works. Yep. So we got 3 panels here. So first, his eyes are covered, his face is covered, then he screams out, and then here he's running. So that's a great isolating shot. That's a great isolating shot. Yeah, like that. That could work. That could work, man. Also, you know, I'm a huge fan. I consider myself a you know, Eisner lover, Will Eisner. I would tell stories using the architecture. So I do want to deploy some of this as one of the characters in the comedy. It's essentially the city, you know, the dead city. All right, one more page and then we'll call it a night. Tonight. All right, let's see here. Let's see, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? All right, Ran is only the frightened run. Oh, so that's interesting. So ran is only the frightened run. Ran. Ah, that's interesting. And ran. Ah, watch this. It's amazing what happens. You can stumble up on a solution to something. Check this out. So now I can go here and move this down just a little bit. And now I'm going to drag this to here. Yes. All right, watch what I do here, guys. Stick with me. I'm almost done. It's amazing what happens when you do breakdowns. You see all kinds of storytelling. Because, let's be honest, it's not film, it's comics. But it does have a similarity, doesn't it? Doesn't it? It does have similarities. Yes, it does. Yes, it do. All right, now here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make him a silhouette here. There we go. And just to kind of sell the idea, there we go. There we go. Yes, big, big, like see. Yeah. And I don't mind telling the story here. Um, uh, um, oh, I'm sorry. This is sure you guys like, what is he showing there? Uh, that was you know, saw something come up there for a second. All right, so we got there. I think this is good. So now that is one page. So there's a lot of that type of stuff there. Now I can add individual shots to this. I'm sitting here thinking about it. There are just so many possibilities of things that I can do. But let me just see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, so now we're gonna go back here. Yeah, there we go. Watch this. So I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna bump that down right there. Right there is good. I'm gonna erase this here, that line from here. I will actually, there we go. The legs are there. There we go. Yep, that works. Here. Now, take that line just like that. Now, all right, here. There we go. All right, so he's there. All right, let me just check one thing here. I'm judging silently. Wow. This is my friend talking about, wow, holy smokes. See the level of ill will and non dynamic support. Thank you, my friend. I love you, man. All right, let's see. Here. Okay. Please, guys. Please, 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 everyone. Go, all my folks on Instagram. I'm trying to get monetized. I'm at 361 subscribers on YouTube. I am at 58,000 views, watch time views, right? So all I need is 700 subscribers, because you only need 4,000 watch time views and 1,000 subscribers. So I need 700, or is that right? About roughly 650 something, 640 something subscribers. If I can get that, then I can start being monetized. That's what I can do. So I'm asking you guys uh, to please, 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 please subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe, subscribe and like and hit notifications. All right, enough of that. Let's go back here. All right, so I'm going to put his hands up here because I think there's an opportunity to show that. His fists are going to be clenched. So, yeah, there we go. One shot there, so we're going to put, there we go. Yep, there we go. Yep, so that's good. I like that. So he's kind of stumbling with his hands covering his face. Then the close up when he screams. And now, this is what we do. Watch this, guys. Go here. Yep. Yeah. Look at that. So that's what you want. You want that kind of shot there. Yep, that's it. That's it. As a matter of fact, haha, perfect. Now, so those three shots are done. Now, I could call this an end, but I think what I'm going to do, I'm uncertain about page 30. There is a dramatic opportunity there to do something kind of cool. I don't know exactly what. But what I will do is I'm going to let it lie for a second and see if I come back to it later. But 4 new pages of the comic done and a quick portrait done. It's a busy evening. Again, I thank you guys so much for your um, assistance and your judging, silent judging, as my friend said. And I want to thank you for sticking with me tonight. I am Tim Fielder. I'm a visual Afrofuturist and graphic novelist, known for my books, um, the um, Infinitum, an Afrofuturist tale, Maddie's Rocket. Let me just hold this up here. So this is Maddie's Rocket here for you guys. Maddie's Rocket. All right. Would appreciate if you can get it. You can get it and have, it makes a great gift. We have this book here. This is an item, an Afrofuturist tale. All of these can be ordered by Amazon. And for those who know and love me, you guys know I always do dope signatures if you ever run into me. And of course, the book I did with Dr. Walter Grayson, my good friend, was for the graphic history of hip hop. Please subscribe, like my work. I enjoy doing this work because I believe it is the way, because you guys are seeing me develop projects in real time, and I think there's something to it. I also think other professionals should do it. I'm sure other professionals do. Someone has to be doing the paid work that they're doing in these environments. I think it can't be anything unique about this. Can't be. But that's where I am. And I think it's a tremendous, tremendous opportunity to do something that is unique, something that holds weight, and something that is can be pretty cool. So thank you guys so much. And good night. Let's see here. I'm supposed to go out with music, but let's see. Will the music come in? Nope. Oh no, that is playing. Wow, look at that. Okay. Now all I need is audio. And here's the audio right here. Y'all have a good night. Whoa! Good night, everybody.